One issue that concerns me greatly, and it's always been because I grew up in a house where education was valued, is the failure of our education system in America. But it's an education failure on two fronts. I'll first talk about quickly about how it's failing the youth. So there are several reasons why our education is failing miserably, and it's been failing since the late 70s. One, we don't pay teachers enough in the urban schools. The bottom line is when teachers make a good living, they have a vested interest in helping. Even with teachers making the salaries that they make, the poor, paltry salaries that they make in the United States in urban schools, they still are dedicated to their craft. But when you look at what the teachers make in suburban schools, you can see why in many instances the children do better. Classrooms are smaller, more opportunities, more extracurricular activities. In the Philadelphia school system and urban school systems around the country for that matter, a lot of extracurricular activities have dried up, have been unfunded, and because of that, now kids have nothing, which breeds violence in their communities. We also have a school to prison pipeline that's been in effect for nearly 20 years. There are tests that are given that if a child doesn't do well, particularly black males, they're on fourth and fifth grade reading levels at a high school rate or junior high school rate. That means they are candidates for prison. When more than half of the young men living in urban communities go attend urban schools that don't pass, that drop out, and more than 60% of them will be incarcerated at some point in time in their life. These are deeply troubling. The other situation is that it's also being affected as adults. Our education system of higher learning is in dire need of a change. We have people who are in school who are functioning literates. We have people who are in school who have debt that they not only will they be able to ever pay off, but 2 generations of their families will never be able to pay off. We need to change our system. You know, America loves to pride itself on being a leader. Well, right now we are a leader in school failures. And instead of looking to the European schools, the Southeast Asian schools, and seeing their plan, I've been fortunate to travel and be outside of the United States. And education is extremely important to me. So when I've gone to schools and talked to people from Finland, or talked to people from Korea, or I talk to teachers and kids, and from in Denmark and Germany and England, and ask them, where did you guys get this system where it's working so well? I knew the answer, but I wanted to know if they knew the history. And in unison, each one of them have always said, we got the concept from America when American schools were turning out the best and the brightest. And what we did, we took the concept and we expanded on it. So when you're going to schools in Finland and seeing these kids are being targeted, not as potential jailhouse bait, but they are actually being targeted to be engineers and scientists and doctors and lawyers and elected officials. This is something that America at one point in time preached, and it didn't matter what school you went to, because even in the schools in the South, where black kids were in substandard schools, they still strived because the teachers, although not being paid, felt they had a duty, an obligation to continue to teach like their ancestors taught them.